So I can't see anyone. That's an interesting, not to be able to see you. Okay. Hello. Well, being right here, right now, it actually feels like another first step, and every public presentation feels like a first step. So, my talk is about the choice and the courage it takes to face the reality within us, to find actually who we are and what we like to do, and face the reality of humanity in order to make the first big step and help people who find themselves in a disadvantageous position. Life is full of steps. There are bigger steps, there are smaller steps, but we do take steps all the time. They say that the moment of birth, which is the biggest step in life, is actually one of the hardest moments in life. The baby that is born is separated from its mother. It tries to empty its lungs and find out how to breathe, and it all of a sudden comes in a cold environment. Still, the moment of the birth is one of the most beautiful moments in life. Okay, right. So, no. Well, this was supposed to be. This is me when I was a baby. I didn't touch anything. I was a happy baby. I guess this is the age where I started literally my first steps, walking. Since I remember myself, my memory starts at the age of 3 or 4. I was wondering about many of the things that the grown-ups were doing and many of the things that were happening around me. I was wondering why the priests are fat if they have to share their food with the poor people. I was wondering how can people be homeless if there's so much wealth around us. I was wondering why do we have to eat and kill creatures, animals, to eat them if we don't really need to survive. So I did have very soon a conception of the worldwide reality of my own, and I was very firm in the fact that this unnecessary suffering that is happening around us should not be there. When I was 4, I decided that I want to be a vegetarian. I didn't know at the time that there were actually other people in the world that had consciously taken a decision not to eat meat. So I stood up, I packed up a bag, I put a bit of everything. I went to my mother and said, okay, I have decided to leave the house because I don't like that you're serving meat to me. Okay, my mom obviously thought, yeah, okay, right, it's a matter, it's the day, tomorrow it's going to be another day. She told me, I promise I will never ask you to eat meat again. It never changed. This is how it stayed for the rest of my life. The feeling, I didn't touch anything. The feeling of pain, seeing the injustice around us, around me, was actually growing as time was going by. The more I was growing up, the more I needed to find ways to do something to assist other people and do something against what was common sense, but was not common sense at all to me. So naturally, this is where steps took me to actually choose to do what I'm doing today, to work for a humanitarian organization. That was not something that happened in one day, to actually choose, to go for that big step, this has been the biggest step of my life, was a process. I remember working in my mind questions and concerns like, if I'm going to do it, is it going to be the way I imagine it? Will I be able to cope with these difficult circumstances? If I change my mind, will I be able to go back to my normal job, my normal life? What will my friends think for leaving them behind? What about my family that will be constantly worried? After working in a normal office, routine environment for some time, that was everyday suffering to me, not being able to actually spend my working time, my hours of the day, to do something for the rest of the world. It was totally clear to me that I had nothing to lose to go for that big step. So in 2001, when I was 24 years old, I joined MSF and I left for my first mission in Malawi. So from 2001 that I started till today, I have been in various countries. I have been on long missions in Malawi. Didn't touch anything. In Afghanistan, Pakistan, Burkina Faso, Ethiopia, Greece, Zambia, Niger, to name most, but not all. I have actually seen that the reality of the world was a lot worse than what I thought and what I expected to find when I started. I have worked with people with HIV/AIDS at the time that there were no antiretroviral drugs. I have seen what it is conflict and displacement, to leave your home, your whole life in one day, to flee from war, to save your family. I have seen what it is to be a mother and not to be able to feed your children, or to have to select which child of yours you're going to give the daily food you have. Yes, the reality is very, very hard. So having to deal with this, it actually grows such a frustration and such a pain. It is very painful that you want to do more, and you want to give more, and you want to put more of your energy and time into this. I explained to you what has been the process for me to make that big step. I want to explain to you what is that actually keeps me doing this, continue doing this. Well, yeah, I'm not the person for this. So as Panagiotis, I think, mentioned before, and this is my current battle. Actually, the biggest humanitarian crisis at the world in this moment is that there are 61 million people displaced around the world. 61 million people that do not belong anywhere. 61 million people are unwanted. This is not normal. This is not normal. This is the biggest number of people being displaced since the Second World War. I want to read a paragraph only of that letter that this Syrian woman sent to me after being assisted from our MSF team. This is the best way to transfer the pain and the difficulties that these people are going through. So she wrote, "We escaped to protect our children from the death that took the lives of 200,000 people. Our homes have been destroyed, our people arrested, our women raped. This letter cannot explain the extent of the pain, injustice, and fear we face. We basically have to go through hell and face death in order to get to Europe. Inflatable boats that don't exceed 3 meters in length, carrying 60 refugees sailing at night. The question is whether we'll get there or end up being buried at sea. All depends on luck. We have to walk through long distances, through forests, mountains, hiding in abandoned trains, under the mercy of mafias and smugglers that take our money and dignity and would only allow us to cross these roads if we meet their harsh conditions. I cannot explain what we have gone through in order to have my 4 children reach Europe, and thank God that they made it safely. But there are hundreds who died and are dying while trying. Has the whole world gone blind?" Hannah is one of the many thousand people, more than 58,000 since the beginning of 2015, that have crossed from Syria to Turkey to Greece to continue their trip in search of a safe place in Northern Europe. All the thousands of people are around us, but we often do not see them. This reality is next to us, but we often do not see it. Going back to my childhood, my main question was, do people not see? Is it just a simple ignorance, or is it a choice because reality hurts? I don't have the answer, but I think that if we all made an effort, we all had our eyes more open, the simple fact that we know can change the lives of many people. I feel very lucky working for MSF because it gives me the chance to direct assist people. We provide medical assistance and humanitarian aid, and at the same time it gives me the chance to expose what I see, to expose the stories of our patients, the stories of these people to the rest of the world. This is the way I expect the rest of the world to do something back for these people. Through these experiences, it's not only pain, of course. It is full of joy, full of happiness, full of personal satisfaction. Meeting these people, beautiful people, strong people, people that really appreciate what we do for them, people that are willing to risk their lives for us, people that are purely innocent. These are our patients and the people that I meet across my work. And then my colleagues, people who have bravely taken a same big step for a common goal, coming from very diverse backgrounds, that we share so many difficult moments that actually the bonding is so strong that you get so many good friends for life. This is the knowledge of the world. This is a treasure that will stay with me for the rest of my life. And I really do not have words to explain what is it that I receive back from doing what I'm doing. This one? Well, well, okay. I cannot control this one. Well, neither this one. So basically, thanks. What I want to say is that it's enough to look inside you and enough to look around you and take the big step. Thank you.